Imagine walking alone on a deserted road, the only sound being the creaking of trees in the wind, when suddenly, you stumble upon a crime scene that's been frozen in time for decades. The chill of the unknown, the fear of the darkness, it's a feeling that's hard to shake, and it's exactly what we're about to dive into. You find yourself standing at the edge of a small town, surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests. The air is crisp, and the streets are empty, with an eerie silence that's only broken by the distant hum of a car driving by. It's a place where everyone knows each other's names, but also a place where secrets are kept behind closed doors. It's here that our story begins, with a case that's gone cold but never forgotten. A young girl, just 17 years old, vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a faint trail of clues and a family torn apart by grief. As you walk through the streets, you can't help but wonder what happened to her. Months went by, and the investigation seemed to be going nowhere, until one day, a group of hikers stumbled upon a piece of clothing caught in a bush deep in the woods. It was a small piece of fabric, but it was enough to reignite the search for the missing girl. As the police combed through the area, they found more clues, each one leading them deeper into the forest, and closer to the truth. But with every step, the sense of unease grew, and the feeling that they were being watched became almost unbearable. You're walking alongside the detectives, your heart pounding in your chest, as they uncover the first signs of a crime scene. The detectives worked tirelessly, following every lead, every tip, every hint of a clue. They interviewed witnesses, scoured the crime scene, and analyzed the evidence, but the more they learned, the more questions they had. It was as if the killer had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a faint whisper of their presence. You're sitting in the police station, surrounded by maps, files, and photographs, trying to make sense of the chaos, as the detectives piece together the puzzle of the crime. The smell of stale coffee and fresh paper fills the air, as the sound of keyboards clacking and phones ringing creates a sense of urgency. Just when it seemed like the case was going cold again, a shocking twist threw everything off balance. A new witness came forward, claiming to have seen the killer, but their description didn't match anyone the police had interviewed before. It was as if the killer had been hiding in plain sight, wearing a mask of innocence, and fooling everyone. You're standing in the witness's living room, listening to their story, as the room seems to spin around you, and the truth begins to unravel. The sound of a clock ticking in the background, and the smell of fresh laundry, create a sense of normalcy, but the feeling of unease is palpable. The revelation sent shockwaves through the community, as the truth began to sink in. The killer was someone they knew, someone they trusted, and someone who had been hiding in plain sight. The feeling of betrayal and anger was palpable, as the town struggled to come to terms with what had happened. You're walking through the streets, seeing the faces of the people, and feeling the weight of their emotions, as the reality of the situation sets in. The sound of murmured conversations, and the smell of freshly baked bread, create a sense of community, but the feeling of sadness is overwhelming. Years have passed since the case was closed, but the memories still linger, and the questions still remain. The family of the victim has found some sense of closure, but the community is still healing. As you look back on the case, you realize that the truth is never simple, and the line between good and evil is often blurred. The smell of old books, and the sound of a river flowing in the distance, create a sense of tranquility, but the feeling of unease is still present, like a ghost lurking in the shadows. What do you think is the most important lesson to be learned from this case? Is it the importance of trust, the danger of secrets, or the power of forgiveness? The answer, much like the truth, remains elusive, leaving us with only one haunting question: what happens when the truth is more terrifying than fiction? As we conclude this journey into the heart of darkness, we're left with more questions than answers. The truth, much like the killer, remains elusive, hiding in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered. If you have a theory or a comment, please share it with us, and let's continue the conversation. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime stories and a deeper dive into the mysteries that haunt us. And as you walk away from this case, remember, the truth is out there, but it's up to us to find it and to bring justice to those who have been wronged.